Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. And I know, here we go again. It seems like deja vu, but yes, once again, we are reporting that rap superstar NBA Youngboy has been arrested, and this time by Homeland Security, the feds, and the local police department and sheriff's office there in Logan, Utah. But some NBA Youngboy was doing, or they believe the NBA Youngboy was doing, caught the eye of the feds, man. And what's crazy is I might be the only person that's not super surprised. I was more let down by this news because it's like, dog, you still getting in trouble? What are you doing? Like at this point, NBA Youngboy is almost on a crash out mission. And I don't know what's going on with rappers lately, but they all been crashing out. Look at Honeycomb Brazy. Look at a good podcaster. I mean, talking about one of the most energetic and entertaining podcasters, TTE Naughty, crashed out. All these cats is crashing out when if they chilled and counted their money, they'd be all right. But man, regardless of all that, this looks really, really bad for NBA Youngboy. So man, y'all do me a favor. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. And man, let's get it. All right, so let's look at this story about NBA Youngboy going back to jail, man. Now, with everything that he's already got over his head, it's going to be looking like NBA Youngboy is going to be going to prison, man. Like, this was the straw that broke the camel's back, I'm for sure, man. Now, Utah is one of those states that just don't play. You know, they don't play with a lot of things. People barely drink in Utah. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those states. And everybody thought that that would be a safe hideaway for NBA Youngboy because the lure of drinking or messing with any illicit substances or anything like that wouldn't be there. But it looks like somebody went to lengths to try to get him some, allegedly, and it looks like it didn't work out in their favor, man. So look at this headline. It says rapper NBA Youngboy booked in Cache County jail for pattern of unlawful activity. Now they're saying a pattern of unlawful activity. That alone is a charge in Utah, and I'm not sure if that's just specifically Utah or in other states as well, but it looks like that can't help you when you go in front of the judge because all the judge and the jury gonna see is, oh, this is a pattern of unlawful activity. Well, we got the answer for that. You want to have a pattern of unlawful activity? Well, we have a pattern of putting people who don't know how to behave in jail. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be up, man. This is a crazy situation for NBA Youngboy, but man, let's get to the story, man. I got to go off on a tangent here for a second. What's with these rappers today, man? What's going on, bro? Yeah, man. Old school rappers, they used to get in trouble, but it was always kind of random, minor, wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? People got shot and things like that, man, but it was so one-off and in the distance, you know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, these cats is like, they crash dummies. Like, they crashing out left and right, man. You see it with Honeycomb Brazy. Now he complaining that don't nobody want to see him, you know what I'm saying? Now you see it with NBA Youngboy. At a certain point, people are like, bruh, you a grown man. You're a grown man. You have to start making business decisions so that way you keep your money later on and you could be the 50 Cent. You could be the Jay-Z. You could be these cats with all this big paper, man. But if you can't keep your nose clean from just small charges, like just crazy little charges that you could avoid, you're not going to make it, man. And it looks like NBA Youngboy is going to be looking at a lot of time, man. So let's start with the story. I know I went off on a tangent there and I ain't nobody trying to preach or try to sound like that head that's kicking knowledge or whatever. But it's crazy, man. It's like all these problems are preventable, and dudes be doing it to themselves instead of staying low key, dropping music and just making their money, man. It just makes no sense. But okay, let's go. So in Logan, Utah, Kentrell Deshaun Golden, better known by his stage name as NBA Youngboy, was booked in the Cache County Jail on Tuesday afternoon, April 16th, according to inmate records. Now, Golden, 24 years old, was booked on second-degree felonies of possession of dangerous weapon by a restricted person and pattern of unlawful activity. The third-degree felonies of identity fraud and forgery and misdemeanor drug possession. So it looks like he's got a lot of charges here, man. And actually, we're going to look at the charges and the booking info in a second here. Actually, man, let's look at that right now, man, so we can break it down. Okay, so this is NBA Youngboy's booking information, right? So you see there, Kentrell Deshaun Golden. You see his age, 24 years old, right? And then you see his name, ID number, and all that information, right? So if you look at the top, it says his first charge is pattern of unlawful activity, which is a class 2 felony. You know what I mean? Then you have procure or alter procure drug possession or something like that. It looks like that's a misdemeanor charge. Then you have an identity fraud, which is a class 3 felony. Then you have his forgery charge, which is crazy. So I'm assuming with all this, it sounds like somebody forged somebody's ID or took somebody else's identification to allegedly try to get some substances or allegedly try to get something, man. Now, what's crazy about that is when the feds pick this up, because this is the local county sheriff's office, that's going to include what people call a wire fraud charge, right? Now, anytime you use electronic means to defraud someone, or it can be proven that you were committing fraud using electronic means, a payment processor, anything like that, it comes with a wire fraud charge, right? And that wire fraud charge is almost impossible to beat. Mobsters have tried to beat that charge, and it was the last. They might have even beat every other charge, and that wire fraud charge was the one charge that sent them to federal prison, bruh. So this is going to get ugly for NBA Youngboy if any of this is proven true. Then it's a possession of other controlled substance, which is a class B misdemeanor, it looks like, and a possession of a dangerous weapon by R. So I'm wondering if that means by a felon or somebody who's not allowed to have a weapon, right? And that's a class 2 felony, man. That's a wrap up of what they have on his booking information as far as his charges. All right, so now that you saw the booking information, man, let's continue with the story. It says Lieutenant Mickelshan Barsky with the Cache County Sheriff's Office told ABC4 Utah a search warrant was executed on Golden's residence early Tuesday morning with the help of multiple agencies, including the FBI and Homeland Security. So when FBI and Homeland Security is on you, dog, it's all bad. They're not showing up for no reason. That's a lot of money for a lot of valuable resources from the government. That's the government. That's not the local state government. That's not the local county, sheriff's office or something like that. This is the actual federal government investing their money to come get you. So obviously they know what they're doing and know what they want, man. Now, Barsky said that the details of the search warrant were part of an ongoing investigation into criminal conduct, and this is in quotes what was said. He said, due to the complexity of the investigation, we will not be releasing any additional details concerning the investigation, Barsky said in a statement. Current criminal charges for Mr. Golden include a pattern of unlawful activity. The pattern of unlawful activity includes violations of the Utah Controlled Substance Act, the Identity Fraud Act, and fraud. So, like I said, man, Utah don't play. It's one of them states where they ain't playing, man. They're not playing with any of this. So when it comes to all these crazy charges and stuff like drugs, even alcohol, man, they got their own alcohol charges there. You're not going to get a slap on the wrist. And who in the world who comes from the hip hop community wants to be locked up in Utah? Everybody was praising the fact he was going to Utah because they thought it was going to keep him out of trouble. Now this joker done went to Utah and got locked up, man. I can't with these rappers, dog. This is all the secondhand embarrassment, man. It's crazy, man. Now Golden made waves in Utah in 2023 when he told Billboard magazine that he was ready to be baptized. Now, he was ready to be baptized into a certain religion. We ain't going to get into all that. But the embattled but highly successful rapper was living in Salt Lake City under house arrest, having previously been allegedly involved in a 2019 Miami shooting. Now, remember the Miami shooting was the alleged shooting between Fredo Bang's camp and NBA Youngboy's camp, where members of NBA Youngboy's camp and Fredo Bang's camp allegedly on the weekend of Rolling Loud banged it out in the streets of Miami. Pause. Like they started shooting at each other, man. And somebody ended up getting killed who had nothing to do with the situation. It was a guy eating his lunch who was on his lunch break, which is crazy when you think about it. Some guy was on his lunch break from a car rental place, sitting in his car, eating his lunch, man, and ends up catching a stray bullet and dies in that situation, man. It got me to thinking that all the time something wild happens, something stupid goes crazy or something like that, all the people on the sideline, all the people around that get affected by these situations, and it makes you start to look at these things differently, man. It's just crazy. Now, he's also previously faced arrests and charges for attempted murder, drugs, guns, assault, and kidnapping. Came as part of a courtroom deal in 2021 in which his lawyers argued that moving to Utah would keep Youngboy out of trouble. And boy, were they wrong about that. Because today, it looks like NBA Youngboy is in more trouble than he ever did. Because he was on a pattern where it looks like he was beating all his federal cases, bruh. He was beating them. So you know if you're beating a case or a charge from the feds gets waived or something like that, they going to be looking at you to make sure they ain't waste their money. They going to be looking at you with a lens, put you under a microscope and say, okay, he beat that charge. We spent money. This is the federal government. We don't take L's. So we're going to just keep watching you to see if you do anything stupid. If you don't, you're a free man. You get to live your life free. You get to have fun. You get to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And be NBA Youngboy out here making music, getting married, doing all the good stuff, right? You mess up, we already on you. We're already watching you. And that's what we have today. Now, the story finishes by saying these things. It says, while under house arrest, Golden was visited by missionaries of the LDS Church. Golden called the missionaries wonderful souls, saying he looked forward to their visits. He told Billboard he was saving his baptism in the church until after his ankle monitor was removed. All right, man. Y'all gonna hate me for this. I saw all that. I seen his posts. I saw the smiles. It all seemed performative to me. It all seemed fake. It all seemed like everything he was doing was performative to help him in his case, bruh. I didn't truly get the feeling that NBA Youngboy was changed and that he had really turned over his life to religion and any of that, bruh. I'm not as gullible as most people on social media, man. I don't believe anything. So when I was watching how his mannerisms and everything were, I didn't believe it, man. I didn't believe it when I seen him take the picture with them people out there. I just didn't believe it. And it looks like my spidey senses were correct because now he's facing these charges. Not to say that he's guilty. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But come on, man. The feds are not wasting their money for no reason. Now, Golden has made a career out of his music, with Billboard reporting only Taylor Swift and Drake had more streams in 2022. In 2022, NBA Youngboy was doing some crazy numbers, getting all sorts of crazy plaques. Man, I hate to say proud because I don't know, dude. But man, what he was accomplishing as a youngster and somebody who seemed like they just stood on it and wasn't about to bow down to the industry, I just had to salute him. But all this stupid stuff that he's been doing since is not funny at all. There's a point where this starts to become just ridiculous, man. And slowly but surely, especially if he gets locked up for a long time, the fans gonna leave him, man. You know what I mean? We'll see, man. Maybe he beats this one too. All right, so let's finish this out. Now, despite Golden having nearly zero radio play, according to Spotify, the Baton Rouge rapper has over 17 million monthly listeners. We know that NBA Youngboy has a very, very strong fan base, man. Okay, so in closing, y'all tell me what y'all think. Is NBA Youngboy going to be able to once again beat these charges? Or is it a possibility that this time his number is up? Now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell. So that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.